Well, thank you for being here this morning. This is what we call opening day for Cuesta College for our fall semester. We just completed our fall convocation where we bring all of our faculty and staff together, and we have the opportunity to recognize special people, create awards. We give out service recognition for time served at the college. And today we had a special keynoters focusing on inclusion and diversity and acceptance, which in today's world is being challenged as we speak today. How do we make our students, how do we make our employees feel welcome, feel supported, and feel included in everything we do? So it was a great spirit today, and it was a great way to acknowledge all the work that this college has done, not only over the 54 years of its existence, but especially in the last 8 years that I've had the privilege of serving as a superintendent president. And we are now at a pivotal point in our history. We have, risen from the ashes where we were 8 years ago when we were on accreditation sanction and the state of California was in a fiscal crisis and unemployment was high. And we have dug our way out. And I'm really proud to say today that we consider ourselves a model college. A model college for how we do business, how it's sustainable, and how it doesn't depend on who sits in the president's office. The institution and its employees own the processes. So we call it president-proof. Yes, I have an opportunity to weigh in and offer suggestions for improvement, but the president no longer has the power to just throw things out just because they don't like them. So therefore, this college has the ability to move forward and take on change without fear and anxiety about change. So that's why I consider it a perfect time for me to try retirement again. And so I'm giving my letter of retirement to Dr. George, our president of our Board of Trustees, for them to take action on September 6th, which is our next trustees meeting, with my last day of employment to be June 30th of 2018. So it'll give the board an opportunity to plan and develop the process that they want to employ, to find who they want to be involved in the search and input process so that they can have somebody in place, hopefully, by the time we can have a transitional time period without having to move to an interim assignment again. So I am mixed with feelings. The greatest feeling is joy and satisfaction and pride in what this college has accomplished. As I said earlier this morning, these last 8 years have been the most rewarding personal or professional experience in my 54 years in education. I wouldn't trade it for anything. To see how this college has embraced the challenge and moved through it. And I couldn't have done that without the support of our Board of Trustees. A board who focuses on student success and not on political advancement or personal gain. I truly felt the support and also the accountability of what they expected in me. I want to personally thank Pat Mullen, trustee who was the board president at the time. He's the one who dangled the hook. And I have to say that he made me an offer I couldn't refuse. but it was a great opportunity. And we have 4 of our 5 member board members here today that I want to say thank you to. Our newest member, Mary Strobridge, serving the Atascadero, Santa Margarita area in the northern part of San Luis. We have Pete Sizak from South County, and Pat Mullen, and also our current president of the board, Barbara George. I also want to thank my education colleagues. I serve on the Superintendent's Council for San Luis County, and Dr. Eric Prater is here from San Luis Coastal, who's been a great friend and supporter. And Dr. Kevin Taylor from the Dean of the School of Education from Cal Poly, who's also been a great partner in terms of how we deliver education and how do we train teachers within our environment. And I also want to thank members of the Foundation Board of Directors. There are a few here today. Roxanne Carr, thank you for being here. And also, I want to thank Dr. Frank Martinez. He was one of the pioneers of this college, serving as its very first vice president for instruction, becoming the second president of Cuesta College. But while he was the vice president, he had the great wisdom to hire me in 1967. He's still doubting it to some degree, but I have to say it was a great move for me. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but what a wonderful opportunity to have a career in a place that I love and having the variety of experiences that I've been able to enjoy. And to be able to retire and then come out of retirement to have even a bigger opportunity for professional growth and also having an impact on this county and what we do. So thank you for that, Dr. Martinez. And last but not least is my wife, Jan, who's we've been married now 54 years, and we have 5 adult children, and we have 10 grandchildren, the youngest of which is fidgeting next to her. This is Josephine, better known as Fina. 4 years old, and if her parents move to San Luis, she'll be a Promise Scholarship student. Yes. So thank you for being here today, and this time I'd like to turn this over to Dr. George, who will talk to you somewhat about what happens next. So thank you.
Thank you, Gil. Thank you, Gil. This is such a bittersweet moment for us. I know that Jan and where are you, Jan? Jan and the children and the grandchildren, the family is going to be so happy that Gil has more time. Well, I'll check with Jan in a year. They say for better, for worse, but not for lunch. So we'll see. But for the college, as I said, it's a very bittersweet moment. Gil, you spoke earlier today of getting a second chance at life. And we are just eternally grateful that that second chance was spent with us. The trustees and I thank you, Gil, for more than a half a century of dedicated public service, benefiting our students and benefiting the communities of San Luis Obispo County. Gil, your leadership style, your energy, your innovation are part of us now, forever, and a reason why this college is at the forefront of excellence in this state and beyond in all its programs and services. Gil, I've worked side by side with you for more than 3/4 of your 51 years. I'm a geezer too. To me, your departure is personal as well as professional. Although I never did get a lot of it because you're a math guy, and it takes a quirky brain to get some of those corny jokes and those puns. But nevertheless, in those years when I worked here, I thought that Gil's leadership style was worth emulating because he is a person of vision, persistence, integrity, and kindness. He has made a lasting impact. He leaves a lasting legacy. And so we plan for the next steps. It's important to the trustees that you know, that the public, our internal and external publics, know what the plan is. The hiring of a new superintendent president, a responsibility of the district board of trustees. We've been preparing and we're ready to go. At its meeting of Wednesday, September the 6th, the board will have a public discussion about how to move forward. The first step will be to officially accept Dr. Stork's retirement as of June 30, 2018. Next, we will consider a recruitment timeline. We will discuss information about search firms, advertising options, and what constituencies will make up the interview committee. We will no doubt want to include forums for public input, our internal publics and our external publics. Our intent is to provide a seamless transition, and the board will make its selection with the new superintendent president targeted to begin on July 1st, 2018. At its meeting of September 6th, the trustees will welcome and appreciate participation in these discussions planning the hiring process. Thank you all for being here. I know that the media and the faculty and the staff and the communities we serve are most interested in how this process is going to work and how on earth we're ever going to be able to find a replacement for Dr. Stork. So I invite you to participate in this discussion. Thank you.
So now it's time for any questions, answers, interviews, whatever you desire at this point. Yes, sir.
So, you leave with full confidence, or are there still things that need to be done? The accreditation thing is completely done, or is there still work left?
Very, very good question. You know, the accreditation is an is an ongoing process. It just doesn't end. You know, but what has changed in accreditation over the last decades? It used to be an event. Every 6 years, a team would come, they would check you out, they'd write the report, and they would leave, and you would relax for 5 years. And then they'd come again. Well, the change now is it's a daily process. We document on a daily basis the work we're doing as evidence to support the standards, the policies, and the eligibility requirements. So it is a living, a way of life now. So we don't fear accreditation. We just embrace it and live it on a daily basis because it is designed to help us be better and do a better job of supporting students. And I think that's been the biggest change for us as an institution and as a culture, is to embrace it and support it and live it rather than fear it. Now, the biggest challenge, it's all about money. And the way we get paid as a district is by enrollment and the number of students that we serve and how many hours of instruction that they sign up for. And that's been the biggest shift. I mentioned earlier this morning that, 8 years ago, it was a seller's market. We could offer any classes, any time of the day, any day of the week, and they would fill up. Our average fill rate for our class is over 100%. That's not true today. Today it's a buyer's market. Students are dictating to us what they want, when they want it, and what short pieces they want it in, and what delivery method. So like any other educational institution, we don't change real nimbly, but we have to. We have to start looking at and thinking and listening to our students. And therefore, we're redeveloping our outreach and in-reach program to really take the college to the people and make sure that we're listening to what do they want, how they want it. We know distance education is a huge player in this because the classes we currently offer now, the first ones to fill are online classes. because students want flexibility. They want education on their terms. And so many of our students, have personal challenges built around work, about childcare. And so if the institution could reduce the number of times that those students have to come onto a campus at a certain time of day, and therefore they have more flexibility, then that's what they want. And that's what we seem to see growing constantly. So what does that do for us? That means that we have to invest more training and professional development around faculty who are not teaching online classes to be able to teach part of their load online. It means when we go out and recruit new faculty, we need to put into our job announcement a requirement, a preferred requirement, that they either have had online teaching or a willingness to learn and be trained to teach online classes. It can no longer be strictly an option about whether I want to or whether I don't want to. So the shift now is, especially when unemployment drops and there are jobs, that hurts our enrollment, obviously. I mean, that's a good news, bad news thing. People are working, therefore they don't need training. And so in the height of the California crisis, we were getting droves of students coming back to pick up that computer class or that accounting class or that welding class because there were jobs out there that they could qualify then. Now the kind of training that people are looking for are not classes, they're looking for modules, 4 weeks of this or an evening of this, a lot around technology. And so we have to make sure that we are listening and designing those options for students to be able to achieve those. I would say that's the one outstanding challenge for us. That's where the Promise Scholarship comes in so importantly, and that's why our relationship with people like Dr. Prater from San Luis Coastal and the other superintendents is so critical about making sure there's a seamless transition between high school graduation and entrance into Cuesta College. And now that we can offer every local high school graduate or homeschooler or GED completer a free first year of college, of tuition-free and fee-free, it takes some of the sting away. It opens the doors for many of those first-generation student families who have never seen college as an option. Now, access is available to them. And that's why in my last year, I'm bound and determined to finish the capital campaign to raise the money to support a second year for this Promise Scholarship. And what a gift that we could provide for Eric and his 3 boys that are going to be coming out of San Luis Coastal, to be able to say, Eric, we believe in you. We want you as a family to see Cuesta College as a wonderful educational opportunity without devastating your financial picture. And to me, that would be the greatest gift. The community gave us a gift of support for Measure L. This is our opportunity to give back to the community a tuition-free education. That was a short answer to a long question.
How is the Measure L work going?
Oh, it's wonderful. I'm so proud of our facilities team and our construction and construction management program. Prior to the ballot, we spent the year prior to the November election preparing for the event that the bond was passed. So we risked about $350,000 of planning money that if the bond failed, we would have had to eat. But since the bond was successful, we could use the bond money to pay for that planning. That allowed us to go to San Francisco out the gate to get our bond rating and get out on the bond market in early 2015 to sell our bonds, the first issuance of our bonds. Our bond is a 12-year program, 4 3-year cycles. You have to space it out so that you don't sell too many bonds, because you have to be able to spend 85% of those dollars within 3 years, otherwise you get penalized. So you really have to plan wisely. So we went out, we sold bonds for $70 million. It included 2 primary building projects, both of which are about 80% complete, one on the San Luis Obispo campus and one at the North County campus. Both of those facilities will open in January for the spring semester. We've also been utilizing that first issuance to redo roofs, HVAC systems, and also prepare for the second issuance. The second issuance, all the planning is done. We're ready to go to San Francisco in December to get our latest bond rating and sell the bonds in January, and then roll out 4 more projects. A child care center on the North County campus, a data center on the San Luis campus. We will replace our aquatics complex here at San Luis Obispo. And then we start doing the refurbishing and the retrofitting of 40-year-old buildings that were built on the last bond issue, in 1974. So that's going to be a complex by complex project. Again, continuing roof work, HVAC, and then cleaning house, improving electronics, making our total campus wireless, all of those upgrades. And then as soon as we sell the bonds for that second issuance, we'll start the planning of the third issuance, which will include a campus center here at San Luis and the planning for a trades and technology building at the North County campus, and continue work on the refurbishing and upgrade of our current facilities. So it's well underway, and we're very pleased. And hopefully, and we give monthly reports to our trustees. We have a website that features all the progress in the project, so anyone in the public can go on that website and kind of get a glimpse of where we are compared to what our promise was to the community back in the campaign year of 2014. And then we'll be ready for the next bond. That'll be somebody else's problem. Thank you. All right. Again, thank you very much, all of you, for coming. Thank you. You've been great partners. What's that?
Get a picture of all you guys together?
Yeah. Sure. I have to say yes because they're my bosses. Here we go. Right, just come over here.
I'm the short person.
I'll be in the middle. Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
Right here.
All righty.
She's getting rid of the long rifle.